In today's video, we're going to be talking about all of the new fragrances that have been added into my collection, plus some that I have gotten rid of over the last month or two. If you're interested, then just keep watching. Before we get into this video, I do want to quickly introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Aisha. I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I used to do these videos pretty much around the end of every month, but it's actually been a while since I did one of these. Basically, this is a roundup of all the fragrances that I have purchased over the past month or so since my last haul video. This is not technically a haul because I have used all of these fragrances. I really just like to keep y'all up to date on my collection. So a lot of these I've mentioned in other videos, and some of them I've done like separate videos for, but I know not everybody watches those separate videos. So therefore we have these videos so y'all can stay up to date on what's in my collection and know about the things that I have gotten rid of. So we're gonna start with the new items added into my collection. And for the ones that I have entire videos about, I will try to be brief and link those videos for you. So first up is Initio Paragon. So I do have a video talking all about this fragrance, but to sum it up, this is a spicy, aromatic, herbal type scent. It also feels kind of warm and inviting, and it also kind of smells like there could be tobacco in here, although there is not. This one is a really difficult fragrance for me to explain, but it is one that I have been thoroughly enjoying since I purchased it. So definitely check out my review video if you want to know all the details about how this lasts and everything like that. But so far, so good on Initio Paragon. This next fragrance is Place des Lys Vanille. So this is a Italian fragrance house, and I discovered them not from this fragrance, actually from the next fragrance I'm going to share with you, but I ended up ordering this fragrance, and so far I'm really loving it. This is a lightweight vanilla, but it's more like a cake batter type vanilla mixed with some lemony notes. So imagine what like lemon cake batter would smell like. I think that's what this smells like. It's really pretty, quite fluffy smelling. It actually reminds me of another fragrance in my collection, the Cream Chiffon by House of Sillage. They are not dupes, but they definitely are kind of in the same family. And y'all know that's another fragrance that I love, so it's no surprise that this one is a love for me as well. So again, that is Place des Lys Vanille. The other fragrance that I have from Place des Lys is Saffron Gourmand, and I actually featured this one in a video where I compared this to Xerjoff Italica, and they are quite similar. Check out my video, I'll link it for you guys if you're interested. But overall, this is a milky almond scent. It smells quite delicious in my opinion. It does have saffron in it, and I think you can smell the saffron in this, but it's more of that sweet saffron. It doesn't take on that leathery tone that saffron can sometimes take. This one is more of like a rich, sweet saffron, and I love this for a gourmand scent. It's playful, it's fun, but it's still quite grown up. So again, that is Saffron Gourmand from Place des Lys. The next fragrance I have is from Franck Beauclerc, and this is Vanille. Again, I did mention this in a video, actually the same one I talked about Saffron Gourmand in. This fragrance has been compared quite a bit to Xerjoff Lyra. So check out my video if you want to know if they compare, but overall what I get from this fragrance is a sweet caramel, blood orange, vanilla type scent. It is comforting, it's warm, it's cozy, great for bedtime. And my biggest complaint about it is honestly the bottle, because I do not like it. This looks very manly, but the scent inside to me is actually quite feminine. So again, that is Franck Beauclerc Vanille. Next up is Boho Boko Wet Cherry Liquor. So again, I just talked about this in a video, but this is gorgeous to me. This smells like a candied cherry scent mixed with liquor, and in the dry down there are some other sweet notes that come out like caramel, and it actually takes on a little bit of a leathery tone for me. I go into pretty good detail on this in my cherry video, so check it out, but I am very happy to have this in my collection. So this is Boho Boko Wet Cherry Liquor. This next fragrance is one that I had in my collection a very long time ago, returned it to the store, and now I have repurchased again. So this is Kilian Rolling in Love. So I purchased this probably in like 2019. I feel like when it first came out, I purchased this, and I was disappointed because this is a beautiful milky almond scent with white florals. However, back then when I got it, the reason that I ended up returning it is because I felt like it just became too white floral, like the florals were just bothersome to me. However, time has gone on and I've had travel sprays. I actually still have a travel spray of this fragrance. And so I pull it out every now and again. And for some reason, I was just longing to have it back into my collection. So I went ahead and got it. And I got it on sale, so that's always a good thing. But I think the almond to me is becoming more prominent in this scent than previously. So I'm assuming it's just my nose has changed or the way I'm interpreting this fragrance has changed. But I have been enjoying this. I've only worn it one time since I got the full bottle. But like I said, I do have this in a travel size that I wear from time to time. But I actually think it smells better from the real bottle. And I don't know if it's because the atomizer sprays out more. But I've been enjoying this one so far. So again, that is Kilian Rolling in Love. This next fragrance is one that I picked up during the Sephora sale. However, it was the only fragrance in that video, so I know a lot of you all who watch my fragrance videos don't really care about my other stuff that I post. So I wanted to feature it in this video as well. But this is Commodity Velvet. And I have been enjoying this. I've only worn it, I think, once or twice since I hauled it. But it is an ambery type scent, a woody ambery type scent. It is sweet, it is a little bit smoky. When I spray this on paper, I want to tell y'all, it kind of reminds me of pickle juice, and I've never gotten that from a fragrance before. But when I actually wore this on my skin, it actually really reminds me of By the Fireplace by Maison Margiela replica line. So for that reason, this one is kind of on the chopping block. I am trying to decide if I'm going to return this to Sephora or hold on to it. I do thoroughly enjoy it. I did test this out. It wasn't a blind buy for me. But the other night when I wore it, I felt like it was just too similar to By the Fireplace. Not as heavy or deep, but I felt like it was very similar. So if you guys have tried this fragrance, let me know what you think of it down below. I'm gonna try it one more time before I make that decision because I don't wanna run out of time and not be able to return it to Sephora. But I just don't need to have duplicates in my collection. It is a gorgeous fragrance and I love the way it smells, but I just don't want it to be so similar to By the Fireplace that I don't have a need for it. So again, that is Commodity Velvet. This next fragrance is one that I did an entire video on, and this is Tiziana Terenzi Hale Bob. So this is a beast of a scent. This one is sophisticated, it's sexy. It feels kind of formal, but I wore this just like out and about running my errands, and I never felt like it was too much, but I feel like if I would have oversprayed, it would have been too much. So to me, this is like a spicy, woody, aromatic scent. It kind of smells like lavender could be in this fragrance, but I'm pretty sure it's sage if I remember correctly. But to me, it kind of smells like lavender could be in here along with the woodiness and the sweetness. It's gorgeous. If you want to know more about this fragrance, check out my video. I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record here, but this video is really just to let y'all know what's in my collection. If I have a whole entire video dedicated to a fragrance, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. So here we are. Sorry for the broken record, but I have a full video on this. Check it out. But I have been thoroughly enjoying this. All right, and this last fragrance is one that I'm not sure if I've shown in a video. If I have, it was probably like a vlog or something. But this fragrance is actually my scent of the day, and this is Xerjoff Starlight. And I have to tell y'all, as soon as I smelled this fragrance, as soon as I opened up my box, this was a blind buy for me. But when I first sprayed it, I immediately thought, this is the best cardamom scent I have ever smelled. Now, I'm not really ready to make that statement, but that was my like go-to thought as soon as I smell this. This is all about the cardamom. You get that spice, but there's also a very nice velvety sweetness to this fragrance that is perfection. There are some florals in this fragrance as well, I believe, like jasmine is a note in this fragrance, but to me, the florals kind of play a supporting role in the fragrance. The cardamom is honestly the star of the show along with the other spices in there. But cardamom is the one that you can really pick out. There's this silkiness to this fragrance that is unexplainable, but so, so good. Now, I can't do a full review on this. Like I said, I'm wearing it today, but this is only my second time ever wearing this fragrance. So I'm not really ready to like give y'all full-blown thoughts. But so far, this is amazing. So again, that is Xerjoff Starlight. So those were all the new ones that I've added to my collection. Now let's get into the ones that I have decluttered. So the first one is Roja Reckless Essence de Parfum. Now this fragrance was gifted to me. So in turn, I gifted this to a friend of mine because I just felt like I didn't need it, honestly. It is a beautiful scent. It's an orange blossom scent. It has some sweetness in it, so that sugary kind of marshmallow sweetness. But overall, this fragrance is more floral than what I like. It felt very elegant. It often gets compared to Killian Love Don't Be Shy, which I love. But to me, Killian Love Don't Be Shy is much sweeter, much thicker, much more dense. And that's something that I prefer. Whereas Reckless is a much lighter take on that, much more elegant, much more refined. And I just didn't feel like I wanted it. So I gave it to a friend. I'm hoping she's getting some good use out of it. I should have said this before I got into this declutter portion, but basically the reason that I typically declutter fragrances are, number one, if I just absolutely don't like it at all and it's not returnable for me, which doesn't happen very often, to be completely honest with you all. I like a lot of fragrances and I feel like I've gotten pretty good at blind buying, so I don't find that I hate a lot of the fragrances that I take a chance on. But the second reason, the more common reason, is that I only have limited amounts of space. I am not willing to give up another room in my house to fragrance. I'm not gonna do it. My fragrance is in my closet where I get dressed and I wanna keep it that way. So I have a limited amount of space. So when I'm running out of space, I start looking for stuff that I don't think I want anymore. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that. I know a lot of people say you shouldn't declutter at all, but for me, I declutter when I feel like it's not going to be something that I miss or it's redundant in my collection, which honestly, when you have a big collection, you have a lot of redundancies. So that's typically the reason that I declutter, because I only have limited amounts of space. So I really want to keep things that I'm using and loving. So the next fragrance that I declutter is Mancera Velvet Vanilla. I love the smell of this fragrance. It is beautiful. It's a gorgeous bubblegummy tuberose and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I will tell you that it's one of those fragrances that I had to really be in the mood to wear, and it was just, I felt like it was just taking up space in my collection. It's absolutely beautiful. I would highly recommend it to people, but I was kind of just over it. I still enjoy the way it smelled. I just didn't want to wear it. And so I just got rid of it. Next up is Jo Malone Myrrh and Tonka. Now I know this is a favorite scent for a lot of you all, but for me, I feel like I never really bonded with it. I've had the fragrance for well over a year, probably close to 2 years. It was one of those fragrances that I felt like I should love. Like I love fragrances in that type of realm, the very deep, dark, sexy scents. But for some reason, when I wore it, I just wasn't wowed by it. It didn't really feel like me. And although it was a beautiful scent, I just don't think it was for me. So I ended up getting rid of that one. The next fragrance that I decluttered was Maison Margiela Beach Walk. I only had probably about this much fragrance left in my bottle. I've had that fragrance for years, like literally years, so much longer than I've been talking about fragrance on YouTube. So I was just over it, honestly. It's a beautiful, summery, beachy, coconutty scent. But now that my summer collection has grown, I felt like whenever I would wear it, it was kind of like me wearing it just to get rid of it. So I figured I might as well just go ahead and get rid of it. And hopefully the person that ended up purchasing it will use it and enjoy it more than I was. Next up was Xerjoff Bouquet Ideal. Now I featured this fragrance in a chopping block video that I did a few months ago. So this one is probably no surprise. In that video, I said that I was gonna give it one more try. I gave it that one more try, still didn't like it. And so I got rid of it. It is a spicy kind of tobacco type scent. And it's one that I found kind of hard to explain. And it's one that I'm not quite sure why I didn't like it. Like I like a lot of fragrances that are similar to that fragrance. And a lot of people that have similar taste to mine, they also love that fragrance. But for some reason, like sometimes I would wear it and I would really enjoy it. And then other times I would wear it and it just didn't do well with my body chemistry. So because of that, I never really wanted to wear it because I didn't know what kind of day it was gonna be. So I just went ahead and got rid of my bottle. Next up is Gucci A Chant for the Nymph. Now this is a beautiful bottle of fragrance. The bottle, it's probably the reason that I held on to it for so long, honestly. It was a very pretty fragrance. I liked it. I just didn't love it. And I was tired of trying to make myself love it. It is a yellow floral fragrance and the yellow florals are very prominent. There is some vanilla in there as well, but to me it's more yellow florals and then the vanilla in the background. So I think it had frangipani in it, ylang ylang, and some other yellow floral. I can't even remember, but I liked it. but it kind of came off soapy on my skin. It came off very pretty, very elegant on my skin, slightly tropical, but I just wasn't in love no matter how much I tried to make myself love it. So it's going bye-bye. Next up was Dior Prive Santal Noir. Again, I mentioned this in my chopping block fragrance video. And the reason that I was holding on to that fragrance is because it was limited edition. I wanted to make sure I was completely sure about getting rid of it because I knew I wouldn't be able to get it back into my collection. So yeah, I just decided that I didn't want it anymore. It was a very woody sandalwood. I mean, obviously sandalwood is a wood, but it was a very dry, not creamy, not sweet sandalwood fragrance mixed with rose and some other like spices. It was beautiful. It just wasn't for me. To me, I felt like it always pulled too masculine on my skin and it wasn't something that I enjoyed wearing. To me, it smelled like something that someone who loves Middle Eastern fragrances would love. And so because I knew so many people wanted that and I really didn't want it, it was literally just sitting in my collection, never being worn, I went ahead and sold it. Next up is Valentino Donna Acqua. Now this fragrance has been discontinued a while now, but I still had it in my collection and I still really enjoyed it. And this is one that I have thought about selling before because it was very pretty. It was a almond pistachio, I think frangipani mix. So almond pistachio floral mix. It was very creamy. It was lightweight, great for summertime. And when I first got it, I wore it a lot and then it became hard to get. And so I kind of stopped wearing it. And then that just continued. So I kind of stopped wearing it, got so many more fragrances in my collection. And then when I did wear it, I didn't want to talk to y'all about it because it's been long discontinued, so you can never find it. And so it kind of just sat. And I kind of came to the point where I was like, you know, I think I'm done with this fragrance. We had a good run, you know. Seasons change, time for you to go bye-bye to somebody who will probably love you more than I did. So I said bye-bye. Next up was Prada Infusion d'Iris. This is like the standard iris scent, a very beautiful, powdery, feminine scent. Actually, it's unisex, but I think of it as more of a feminine scent, very elegant, but still cozy. But I just never reached for it. I do have Infusion d'Amande, which is similar to me, but it has that almond take on it. And I was gonna get rid of both of them, but I decided just to get rid of the normal iris one and I kept the almond one. And that's gonna give me my iris fix. And then the last fragrance that I got rid of was Goldfield and Banks Sunset Hour. Again, this was in my chopping block video and it was a really pretty scent, y'all. It was very pretty, but it was one that I just never could smell on myself. In that video, I said I would probably keep it because it was pretty and I just wanted to give it more chances, but I kept trying it, y'all, and it just ended up being the type of fragrance that I wear to like Pilates or something like that. Maybe like to the grocery store or take the kids to school, and I just felt like it was taking up space. Honestly, that was the biggest reason why I got rid of it. It's because I got a lot of new fragrances for my birthday, and so I needed space. And I was like, I don't care about this fragrance. This fragrance could come and go and I would not care. Like, it was a pretty fragrance, but nothing that I ever really yearned to wear. So out the door it went. So those were all the fragrances that have been added into my collection and taken away over the last couple months. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you own any of the fragrances that I talked about, whether they are new to my collection or whether they are ones that I got rid of. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you have your notification bells on. I typically upload videos 3 times a week, so I have plenty of content. So definitely make sure you have that notification bell on so that you don't miss a video from me. If you're not already following me on Instagram, follow me over there. We always chit chat in my DMs and in my Instagram stories, and it's just a lot easier to connect with you guys over there. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.